right. All right. I think we are live. We're looking pretty good.
I believe so.
Yes. What's up, guys? How you doing? My name is Rich Guzman.
What's going on, guys? My name is Ace Guzman.
And we are Ace and Rich, and welcome to another episode of Hot Seat Live. This is a affiliate marketing live stream that we like to do to help answer all your questions, to help you really just start crushing it in your business with affiliate marketing.
Yes, so let's see who's here on the live with us. Let's take a look at the live stream. We're live streaming right now inside our profile in Facebook. And also we're going to be live streaming as well in the Internet Marketing Pros Facebook group. So if you're not a member there, what are you waiting for? Definitely be a member there, because we share a lot of great tips, tricks, and strategies on how to market your business as a professional internet marketer. That's why it's called the Internet Marketing Pros.
Absolutely. All right, let me head over. You going to share it to the...
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So guys, we got a lot of questions to get to. Let me see who is on the live right now. Go over to the profile.
All right, who's on that live? Let's see, Rich.
Okay, let's see. I see people hopping on right now. We got Colleen, Diane, how you doing? Donald, Richard Candy, it's nice to see you.
Hey, I was just talking to him, actually.
Yeah, awesome.
Glad you made it. Thank you.
All right, guys, share this out. Let's get the party started. Let's get it pumping. We got some great questions to get to. So let me...
Yep. Post your questions below in the chat. We could actually see it. So that way we can refer back to it and get back to you on the answer. And if you're not available here, you can always post your question and watch the replay.
Absolutely. All right, cool. So let's get to the first question. Let's see here.
Go ahead and post your first question.
Beautiful. All right. Let me just make sure. It's off. Beautiful. All right. First question. What do we got?
All right. Well, basically, we have a question coming in from Lisa. Lisa says, guys, I'm curious, how do you go about marketing your business on social media? Like, I want to reach more folks and get some leads. We're not laughing at you.
Okay. Yeah, we're laughing with you. Yeah.
You understand. It's like, we understand how important it is to generate leads, right? We do. And it's important to understand that how you go about getting the leads is also a critical part. Okay. Social media is great because, especially when you establish yourself as a brand authority of your niche, people are going to look to you like you're the expert. And if you do it right, then basically you're not going to have a problem generating leads, right, Rich?
Exactly. I mean, when it comes to generating leads on any social media site, we'll use Facebook, for example. It's all about really building the relationship. And we always talk about, building an audience, getting that audience to engage, and then, how do you get that lead and then sell to them, right? So what we've always done is we've always focused on, building a very targeted audience, right? So when we're speaking in our message is matching the market, right? That's number one. And when we do that, we start to create engagement. So it starts off with building the audience, but a target audience, right? And then from there, when you start engaging, you're talking about, problems that people are dealing with, and you're providing a solution. So that way they can pay more attention to you, because a lot of people are struggling, and the only way to really get their attention is to focus on the struggle and provide a solution to that struggle, right? So, and then the next thing is, once you have their interest peaked, you can give them a call to action. That's how you generate that lead. The call to action is important because there's different ways of having a call to action. You can do a call to action like, hey, send me a message, here on Messenger on Facebook, or send me, a message, maybe on Skype, or we've done, either or the other thing we like to do is guide them to our calendar. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, why is that important? Because we like to really get personal with people, right? We don't like to hide behind the camera. We don't do that like a lot of people do. We really get in there and we say, hey, how you doing? We're Ace and Rich. Nice to meet you. We do a nice Zoom call, and we find out like who they are, where they've been, what the challenges are, what is the number one struggle they're dealing with, so we could address the problem right there. And believe it or not, guys, just from that 15-minute consult that we do, usually turns into 20 minutes, 25 minutes, we actually, figure out the solution right on the spot, right? We don't say, oh, well, we're just doing a 15, 20-minute consult, just to join our coaching, even though that's part of the process. If people really need help in the moment, give as much value as you can. Give it all in that moment, because that will help people trust. So if you're trying to provide an offer, they're more likely to bite, because guess what? You took the time to really give it 110%.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback off of that, I just want to just answer Lisa's question a little bit more greater detail, because you say the term social media. Now, I do a word of the day Wednesday, every Wednesday, right, Rich? And we learn about certain and different acronyms and social media terms too. But social media is like a big umbrella, and underneath those the umbrella, there's different charms. So you've got so many different social networking platforms to choose from. How do you choose? Well, think about the one that you spend the most time with, okay? And since you're looking for leads, keep in mind, you must do your job as a marketer and add people constantly, okay? Because they're not just going to come to you. You know, the whole thing, if you build it, they will come, is BS, okay? When it comes to our world of online marketing, that doesn't seem to quite work like as you think. You have to do the work. You have to go and reach out and make connections and take those connections and really help them get to know, like, and trust you.
No, absolutely. When you're actually really building that audience, and then you provide that, those problems, and when you talk about the problem, provide the solution, you're building trust that way, but you're also building authority, because when you start going out there and you start, solving problems, is where you become attracted to the marketplace. And that's really, really important.
Yes.
One of the things we figured out, in this affiliate marketing arena, is that the more that we educated ourselves, the more that we invested in ourselves, the more knowledge that we've gained, the more experience that we've gained, the more results also that we've gotten, the more, knowledge and wisdom that we could share with people. And that really makes a really big difference, guys. So, if you're brand new and you're starting out, Lisa, and you're trying to figure out, like, how do I generate leads? You have to start there, right? You have to start with the knowledge. What knowledge do you have in your space? And that knowledge, you want to keep investing and keep growing in that knowledge and get really good at that knowledge. Take action on that knowledge so you can start teaching it, right? Learn, do, teach, as we always say. And that's really important. And people will see you like you're just not another person out of all these numbers out there, right? You're not gonna get lost in the ocean. You'll definitely stick out in the marketplace, which is really important.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa, for asking that question. If you need more help, all you have to do is reach out to us and book a call with us on Calendly. On our bio, we have our link there, calendly.com/aceandrich, and we'll have a sit down with you and take a look at your business to see what is working and what is not. Moving on to the next question, we have Donald Candies, who says, "Hey guys, Donald in the house. How you doing? Do I use a thumbnail when I have a YouTube short?" You see that right there, Rich?
Yep, I see it. Yep.
Okay.
No, you don't. No, no, you don't. You don't need a thumbnail for YouTube short.
Not at all.
Only the longer form videos,
Mhm.
right, on YouTube, but not the shorts. You don't need that.
No, because if you think about it, right, and this goes with, like what we learned from marketing on other platforms like TikTok and Instagram, you're recording your video with your phone. I don't have my phone with me, but it's in a vertical view, right? So you have it vertical, and then you're going to try to put a thumbnail on that. That's really not going to quite work. But if you turn the phone and have it horizontal and you create long form content like Rich was talking about, then I would create a thumbnail, absolutely, and put it right there to that video.
And you know what? I haven't seen any thumbnails on shorts. If you've seen some thumbnails, let me know, because I've never seen one thumbnail on a short. And maybe in the future they'll start thinking about doing something like that, but it'll have to be like, what you're talking about, horizontal.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine if they did, Rich? That would be a little bit more extra work.
Well, that'd be kind of weird, right?
It would be.
How would it look, right?
Yeah.
Horizontal, right? Like over like this,
Yeah, and then have to do a thumbnail for vertical views. Nah, I don't think so.
Kind of weird, huh?
It is. What the heck is the point of having, short stories, right?
Oh, you only got so much time to record anyways. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe people will start doing that.
No, but great question though, Donald. Thank you.
That's an excellent question.
Thank you.
Love it.
Richard Osborne just joined us on the live. Hi, and praise the Lord, Ace and Rich. I just got on. How much did I miss? You just got here.
Yeah, you just got here. Not much. We just answered the second question of the night.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Guys, if you have any questions in the comments, go ahead. Don't hesitate. Don't be afraid. Just ask the questions, and we'll help you out with any struggles that you're having with marketing.
Next question is coming in from Mark, all the way from California. Mark, how you doing? I'm thinking about starting a side hustle along my 9-to-5 job. Guys, any tips on how to dive into it without feeling too overwhelmed?
Okay. Well, let's really address the side hustle thing first. So when I hear somebody say they want to start a side hustle, it's because, they probably got a job and they want to do something on the side, right? Make a little bit of extra income and things like that. I never really talk about, myself, like I'm, joining a side hustle even when I first started and I had a job. And it's because, it's really a real business, not really a side hustle. Now, the word hustle, it's true. Any business, you have to hustle. You have to work at it. You have to really put that effort into it and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you're really thinking about starting a side business, as you call it, side hustle, you have to really find out, you have to find something that you really truly believe in, that you can sell. Okay. Don't just pick a side hustle because somebody says, hey, join this side hustle. This side hustle is going to make you a lot of money. Because the reality is you might join it and you might not like it. Right. And if you don't like it or you don't believe in it, you're gonna have a hard time really convincing people and trying to sell something. And in this business, we're not in the business to convince people. We're in the business to educate and provide something of value. So that way they can make an educated decision on making that purchase. Right. So just make sure that when you choose something that you can truly 100% sink your teeth into and really believe in it. Okay. Learn a lot about it. Don't just tip your toes in the water. Fully dive right in and get to know exactly what you're selling. And like I said, once you believe in it, that's it. Game over. Like you're gonna have no problem selling it.
I agree. Donald Candy says, did I hear the word side hustle? Give him my link. Yeah, I always was taught, when I started way back in the old days of network marketing, never to belittle your business. I learned that from a woman who's a dynamic industry leader. You probably know her. She has a great reputation. She's one of the top Bs in the MLM industry, known as Kim Claver. And she used to have a radio show way back in the day when I first started with network marketing. And she said, you never belittle your business, because if you belittle your business, exactly what you think is going to happen and what do you think is going to duplicate? So
Yeah.
I'll never forget that learning lesson about never belittling your business. So don't call it a side hustle. That stuff is so cliche. And that comes from a lot of people who actually have had, this experience where they've been building fast and quickly online. So they call it a side hustle. Now it's all of a sudden it's this catchy phrase and a key term and everybody's like looking for it. But really, is it a side hustle? Hell no. Why? Because you still got to put work into it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny, like, because, when we first started, yeah, we had to hustle, we worked our butts off and everything, but, no matter what you do, you have to put 110%. You can't really half-ass it. As Ace likes to say, you got to put the whole ass in it, right?
That's right. Say that.
Yeah, you got to put the whole ass in. You can't half-ass it.
You can't half-ass it.
And a lot of people, when they come into the space,
That's
they
right.
they like to half-ass it and they don't really put 110%. And if you don't, you will continue to struggle. You got to really put your all in.
You really, really do.
Yeah.
Guys, are you getting value from this? Let us know in the chat. Hit us with the hearts, the likes, the LOLs, the emojis. Let's let them fly across the screen. This is really good stuff. You guys probably never heard it this way, but on the hot seat, we give it to you straight. We don't cut no corners. We're very uncensored and we just want to keep it raw. You know what I mean? Richard Osborne says, I guess DoorDash is a side hustle, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing is DoorDash to fund my travel business. Hey, whatever you got to do, right? As long as you're creating that income and you're investing your income wisely, it's like Rich and I always say, pay the bills first and then whatever's left over, put it towards traffic.
Right. Well, pay yourself. You got to pay yourself first.
You got to pay yourself first.
You
Yeah.
got to take care of your business and also the traffic. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Don't hurt the family and don't take money off the table. If it's going to hurt, don't do it. You know what I mean? You got to be really mindful of that. Okay. We have a question coming in from Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Sarah says, okay, this is Sarah speaking. Ace and Rich, I love you guys. You're awesome. Here is my question. Ever been in a spot where you just feel like you're failing at this whole hustle thing? What's your secret sauce for bouncing back from that, guys?
I laugh because we know. Yeah.
We've been there. Yeah.
I remember the time we were blogging like constantly for the longest time and nothing was happening. But we trust the process. We kept going and stuff like that. And then we started, but even that, I think we did how much, I forgot how much we made with blogging. I think it was like, what, 30 grand or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like 30 grand.
yeah.
But it took like several years to really get to that point, guys. It wasn't like we made 30 grand in 1 month with blogging. It just started building up really, really slow. So I mean, when it comes to having that feeling of failure, we know, and the hardest part, here it is, guys. The hardest part is while you're going through that and you're feeling like you're failing, what are you learning from it? Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, as you're going through this failure process, is it a negative association in your brain about it? Or is it a positive thing, right? You can really fool your brain and say, hey, you know what? If I'm failing, I must be getting closer to success, right? So, and the third thing is when it comes to feeling that negativity around you, and you're feeling like you're failing, you got to ask yourself, you know, people go through this, and everyone that has gone through this has gone through their failures. Nobody has ever gotten to this space and just go, I made it. Woo! Right? Every single person has gone through the failure. And it's because when they make that decision to become an entrepreneur, they don't realize there's a whole new world. It's a whole new ball game, and it requires a mindset shift. Okay. And you got to think bigger in your mind. And you have to think about, like, if nothing is going your way, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not getting closer to the goal, right? There was an image that I saw online where this guy was in a tunnel, and he had a pickaxe and he was picking in this tunnel. And all of a sudden he put the pickaxe down, right? And he walked away, and there was only a thin layer, right? About that much. And on the other side, on the right, there was all these diamonds, right? Like just a couple of more picks, he probably could have just reached all those diamonds, right? It's the same thing when you're running your business. Like, you know, you go so far and people quit right at the point they were about to have a breakthrough. And they didn't allow themselves or give themselves that chance to get those results they were looking for because they gave up too easily. You see? Doesn't that make sense? Right? If we feel like things are not going our way and we're failing, you know, we tend to feel like, well, am I wasting my time? And then we start thinking all these negative thoughts, and then we just quit and we give up. And the majority people give up. 80-20 principle applies on this. 80% of people will give up. 20% won't, right? Think about that. So are you a 20%er or you're an 80%er?
Yes.
So continue really thinking about being a 20%er and think, you know what? Even though this is not going in my favor right now, I'm going to keep going, keep learning, keep going from this angle, keep going from that angle, keep going from this angle, keep going from this angle, forever, all these different angles that you can go in, and finally crack that dam and let that water stream just start coming through. And then before you know it, you just have like this gushing water just wide open, just start pouring through, and you wonder where all that water was, right? Which means the wealth.
You know, I
Right.
just want to piggyback off of that too, Rich, because you've spoken about something about, you know, keep going and stuff. But here's the thing, and I have a different view about this because not knowing more information about Sarah's situation, I think you and I agree as coaches that she probably is lacking the experience and mentorship, right? There's a possibility that she's been struggling for so long. And I don't know, Sarah, how long you've been marketing online. And like you said, you've been failing at this whole hustle thing. Well, how long you've been doing it? And if you've been doing it for a while now, like, you know, more than a year or two, and you're still at it with the same program, the same affiliate offers, and you're still not seeing something, then Rich, do you agree she would need some mentorship?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. So Sarah, I also invite you, if you can, you know, reach out to us, send us a quick message, click on our link. We are actually going to provide our Calendly. Actually, I think Rich is going to put that there right now for you. Sarah, highly recommend, see if you need mentorship. That's a possibility that you do, because we don't like to see marketers struggling for a long time. You know, most of our successful students, they have actually beat the 6-figure code. Like they broke through within record time, within less than a year. Okay. So if you're taking longer to get to that first 6 figures, something is definitely missing and something is wrong. You need to have a mentor. You need to have a coach. It's going to require some investment. I'm not going to BS you about it, but it'll be totally worth it. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just having that guidance really helps a lot. I remember that's what we had to do in the very beginning, not the very beginning, but like through our journey, we decided to get that coaching as well. And it really helped us. So, but like I said, it's all about really understanding that, you're so close. And I really truly believe this. Everyone here, you're always so close. The question is, how long can you hang in there before you actually crack that dam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Richard Osborne says, is DoorDash a side hustle? And do you have DoorDash where you guys are at? Puerto Rico does not have DoorDash. And is it a side hustle? No, because it's like a job.
It's a job.
It's a job.
It's a job.
Basically,
It's
it's
a
a
side
job.
job.
It's a side job. Exactly. Think of it like a part-time job.
So if you want a side job that creates more capital so you can build,
Yeah.
your
Uber,
business more, invest in your business more,
yeah.
then yeah, do it up.
DoorDash,
Absolutely.
Uber, Lyft. What is the other one? Instacart, right, Rich?
Oh yeah.
Those are jobs. They're not side hustles. They're jobs. Okay.
We got a question here from Ray Clark. He says, how long does it take to have a breakthrough? Ace and Rich, thanks.
How long does it have? How long does it have? What is it?
How long does it take to have a breakthrough? I know what you're trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah. How long does it take to have a breakthrough, Ace and Rich? So
Okay.
the breakthrough really depends on you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all different types of breakthrough, right? Like I remember getting coaching and going to California, spending time with my coach for about 3 days. And I was in tears. Like I broke down. I was in tears in ways that I don't think I ever cried like that before. It was a different kind of cry. And I had a breakthrough on that weekend. And I realized that I came here for the wrong reasons. When I went there, I came there to learn how to make money. Well, what I learned was that I didn't have a good relationship with money. And I didn't understand that I am there not to learn about how to make money, but how to understand how money works and how we feel about money. This is why people don't make money, believe it or not. And this gets a little bit more into the mindset and more emotional and deep thoughts here. And everyone here, 9 times out of 10, all of you have the same problem, right? And it's not your fault. It's because what happens is, we weren't brought up with a silver spoon in our mouths, right? Nobody here, I wasn't, right? You weren't, right?
Mm-mm.
So we weren't born up with, we weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouths.
Definitely
Actually,
not.
I was born poor. You were born poor
Oh,
as well.
absolutely. I'm raised in the
Okay.
ghetto in New Jersey.
All
Come
right,
on.
yeah,
Man.
we so you gotta understand something.
Yeah.
When someone is brought up like that, it's a different mindset when you're trying to achieve success because you have a lot of battles to go through in your mind, right? You're in your own war in your head, and you're trying to figure out how come I can't build a business? How come I can't communicate with someone? How come I can't ask for a sale? How come I can't create my own product? How come I can't do this? How come I can't do that? Because it's not that it's hard to do, it's just different. But the problem is you have walls and you have things trapping you from achieving that next level, right? And like I said, again, it's not your fault. It's the way you were brought up. It was the way what you were born into. When you were born, your mind was completely fresh. It wasn't tainted, right? So as you grew up, you've gotten to learn different values, whether it's negative, positive, anything else like that, and that affects your state even as you get older as an adult, because your brain is like a microchip. All that stuff is saved in your subconscious mind. So when you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I want to run my own business and I want to, be wealthy and I want to be rich and I want to be successful, all these great things. Then all of a sudden the reality sets in when you start running this business. You go, wow, this is not as easy as I thought, right? Because it's more mental, right? It's like being headstrong is being, it's really focusing on the mental part of your business. You have to be headstrong. Because the days that things are not working out, like we just answered some other questions, a little while ago, is that you got to be strong even when you're having a shitty day, right? The entrepreneurs that are successful are the ones that even when they're having shitty days, they ignore those shitty days and they focus on, okay, well, today sucked, but maybe tomorrow will be better.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then tomorrow comes like, oh, that sucked too, but tomorrow must be better. And they keep doing that over and over and over again because they're headstrong. And they don't worry about what happened yesterday. They worry about like what could happen today, right? Like what can happen today, because today is an important day. not yesterday. Who cares what happened yesterday? It's dead and dusted. It's gone. It's not coming back, right? Unless you build a time machine. Right. But the reality is this is what we go through.
Yes.
And this is where I had the biggest breakthrough about money. And I realized like I shouldn't be afraid of money because I was brought up poor, and I was brought that money was all root of evil, right? All those different things, right? And we never had enough of it. Money doesn't grow on trees. It was all negative. So when I was in the business in the very beginning, I had trouble talking to people and asking for money. Now I close $10,000 deals like this now. It doesn't bother me.
Yes, we do.
It does not bother me one bit.
Mm-mm.
Because I understand that money is it's equated to the relationship and the value that you provide to someone. And if you believe in it, again, it goes back to the belief. If you really believe in what you're doing and you believe with good intentions, okay? This is important, guys. Good intentions that you want to serve the other person and give it your 110%, then you'll have no problem. But if you stop and you pause and you have no confidence because you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe in the things that you're doing, it's going to be hard for you to actually make that sale, no matter what you're selling. Okay? So this is how you have breakthroughs, when you realize that you can, don't be hard on yourself is really the important thing too, because if you're hard on yourself, you're killing your success right there. Stop being, number one, everybody here, stop being hard on yourself.
Yes.
Just stop it. Okay? Because the things that you're going through, the things that you're learning is not your fault. It's not your fault that you might have had a shitty life. And it's not your fault that you had a shitty parent. Right? It's not your fault you had a shitty freaking school probably, or a shitty teacher, or a shitty counselor, right? Maybe you went to a psychiatrist, you had a shitty psychiatrist, right? It's not your fault, all the shit you've been through in all your life. But you can take responsibility today and recognize and be aware of that situation, about all the things that has happened, is done and dusted, and nothing you can do about it. But today is the day that you can do something about it to change. And guess what? Tomorrow's another new day. What can you do tomorrow to make it even better than today? And this is how you start having a breakthrough and you start feeling better about yourself, because you stop being hard on yourself. When you're hard on yourself, that's when things start to break apart. But when you love yourself and say, you know what? I love myself. I'm a great person. I'm doing this because I have great intentions. So that way you feel better when you have a conversation with somebody online. You start asking questions. You start figuring out who they are, where they're from, what they're about, what are their struggles, what their pain is. And then they go, wow, this person really cares about me and my life. Of course you do, because you care, because you can relate. And you can listen by feeling. Not listening to hear on your ears, but listen by feeling is another level of listening. And have the empathy to understand that you are no different than them and they are no different than you. I'm giving you guys some really important information here tonight. I want you guys to open up. I want you to feel that a breakthrough is going to happen for you. And everybody is different. Everybody has different breakthroughs in different moments in time during their entrepreneur journey.
Right on.
So I can't say that today you're gonna have a breakthrough or tomorrow. Everyone is different. You must recognize what I just talked about now. And that will let you know when you're gonna have a breakthrough.
Colleen McKenzie had a question here. We don't want to skip anybody. We want to make sure that we definitely get back to her. She says, I have been receiving emails lately talking to non-openers, telling them to just unsubscribe. I just do not understand why. If they don't open, how are they supposed to see the message? What is your take on this? Okay.
Well, you want to go with this one first?
So the thing is, okay, you're receiving emails and you're talking to non-openers, telling them to just unsubscribe. Are you the one doing the broadcasting, if I'm not mistaken? Okay. And that's what they're telling you. I'm a little confused on how she wrote this, Rich, but do you get what she's asking?
Well, I mean, when it comes to, the openers, okay, when people, when you have an opener segment, People are just opening up your emails and they're not really taking any action, right? If they're still opening up your emails, it's all good. Everybody really takes their own time to make a decision, okay? If nobody is opening at all, then you probably want to chuck them.
Exactly.
Get
You
rid
got
of
to
'em.
get rid of those guys, you
We've
know?
had people on our list for several years.
Purge.
Listen, we had several people on our list for years
Mhm.
have opened our emails and never made a purchase.
Mhm.
And then years later, they make a purchase.
Exactly.
So you never really want to get rid of like the openers. You want to keep communicating with them because everybody is busy doing their own thing in their own lives. And, you know, they're not really thinking about you and what you're sending out in email all the time.
Yes, so I would recommend, Colleen, look at your non-openers and look at the date, okay, underneath the subscribers tab. If you're using a specific autoresponder, see if there's a subscribers tab, look at all your subscribers, go look
Yeah.
at the segment where it says non-openers. And has it been 3 to 6 months time? Okay, I don't know how old your list is, so I'm just gonna say 3 to 6. But let's say it's a young list and it's been a while and it's been 3 months and they haven't opened an email since. That's a flag right there. You need to get rid of them. You got to unsubscribe them and delete them from your list. I always say ain't no sense in paying the rent if you got freeloaders in the house.
That's so
You know?
true.
I refer to
That's
it
so
like that.
true.
I talk about this on the inner circle, don't I, Rich?
Yeah.
You know?
But you've said it about mindset too. Like don't
Yeah.
let people rent space in your head.
Nope.
Okay, because they're not paying the rent.
And don't do it on your list. Don't
I
do
love
it on your list.
I love when you said it. I remember when you said it the first time. You're like, don't let people rent space in your head because
That's
they're not
right.
paying the rent.
They ain't paying the rent. Get them out.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Yep.
Oh man.
Let's see here. Richard Osborne says, so I got 2 jobs. My first 10 hours for taking care of my bills and my second DoorDash job to fund my business. Yeah. You know, what you're doing right there is basically creating the income, creating the cash flow, because obviously one job ain't cutting it. Okay. You know, if it was, then you'd probably be asking your boss to give you more hours so you can stay there a little bit longer and you could utilize that job to fund your dreams. Right.
Oh
But in the
yeah.
meantime, you have 2 jobs now. You got DoorDash and you got something else that you got going on. And so when you think about it, you know, make sure that you're managing the money wisely. You know, you're paying your bills, but at the same time, you're managing to invest that rest of that money, that cash flow into your business, whether it be for advertising or for marketing.
And who's this?
This is Richard.
Richard Osborne?
Richard,
Okay.
Richard. Richard Osborne.
Richard, here's something you must understand. What I think what's going on with you is I really think you're promoting the wrong offer. I really do, because you're going to keep struggling and struggling until you find the right offer. One thing I realized, you know, being an entrepreneur, especially online, is that we've been through a lot of offers, you know, especially me since 2008. And I can tell you there's certain offers that I remember I chose in the past that I'm like, why did I even choose those offers? Right. But I learned how to effectively choose offers after learning those valuable lessons. And the offers really have to, more importantly, you know, yeah, believe in it, but also make sure it converts. Okay. Because if you get an offer and you are doing some advertising and you're running some emails and you're promoting that offer through your emails and they're clicking on the link and you look at the offer, it's not designed to convert, then you're wasting a lot of time and money. Okay. And let me just take a step back here. Let's say you did choose the right offer, right? Let's say, okay, yeah, Rich, you know, I hear you. I'm gonna go look for a different offer now. I'm gonna go find something that converts, right? Something that can be a part of an awesome community that we could all work together and we can really learn how to be a great marketer. Because no matter what you're selling, you gotta be a great marketer. That's just the way it works, right? So let's say you choose a brand new offer and you're like, this is great. Now you have a lot more confidence in what you're selling, right? And you're actually driving traffic. You're building your list. You're doing the things that you should be doing, right? Because you must be doing it. It's not like an if, you must be doing this. And then what happens is now you start to see sales come in and you ask yourself, you know, how can I make sales now when before, you know, for so long I've been trying to sell this thing and I'm not making any sales? It's because you probably chose the wrong offer. I'm telling you. And then your sales become more effortless. You're like, where has this been hiding all along? It's because you got stuck and you got married to what you thought was the right offer, right? A lot of people do that, especially with MLM and network marketing. They get married to their MLM and their network marketing and they just struggle for so many years. And then realize like, wow, I wasted so much time. This sucks, right? It's because they don't understand if they're trying to sell something, it's got to convert. Remember, people don't care, and I gotta talk about this about network marketing, because people don't care about the products. They really don't, right? They care about the individual, about like what is this person gonna do for me to bring me to the promised land? And the products is a byproduct, right, of that sale, right? I mean, I can sell physical products, I can sell digital products because I know marketing, right? So I know how to talk to someone when I sell a physical product. And how would I sell a physical product? I would explain the benefits and the value, right, of what it could do for them. Okay. And that's how I know I can close some sales doing it for that specific type of product. Now, online, me personally, I like online products better. I like digital products better. I don't like physical products. I sold physical products in the past. I sold physical products in the past. It's a pain in the ass, right? But when it comes to online, I mean, you can do it on a laptop, you can do it from your phone, you can, it's amazing what you can do now in a digital marketing world. Again, digital marketing world. Do you have a offer, Richard? Do you have an offer that's connected to the digital world, that really is designed to convert in the digital world? Because if you don't, and whatever you're selling right now is not designed to do so, you will struggle in the digital world. And here's the thing, you might be doing everything right, but if the offer is not converting, you're just wasting time and energy and money.
Agreed. Okay. Colleen, want to clarify on her question. She said, no, this is not me. I'm getting these emails from actually other people who I am on their list, but I do what you say with my list. Okay, good. So you're getting messages from other people to tell you to unsubscribe. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they're telling her.
They're telling you to unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a tactic behind that. Okay. Because I've done this before myself as an affiliate marketer, as a super affiliate, actually, is we tend to create emails to piss our list off. It's just a tactic. All it is just to see who is actually wanting to get off the list. So what you do is you ruffle their feathers and you write some angry emails to be like, listen, you've been on my list for a while. You haven't done anything. You know what? Why don't you just click that unsubscribe button right now? Like, get off my list, because I don't got time for people like you. I got more people to talk to, more people to work with who are serious, who are not curious, and who want to, do affiliate marketing the right way. But you just seems to be sitting on that fence for a while and you just keep reading my emails, but I don't see you doing anything. So what is it going to be? Are you serious about making money online and you still interested in firing your boss? Or what do you want to do? You want to get off my list? And I'll ruffle their feathers. I will.
She does. And it's really funny. There was an email. I won't say what it is. Listen, I won't say what it is, but you did put out an email recently and it was political, right?
Yes, I did.
And this person literally went off. Okay. And the person does not want to get off our list.
They're still there.
They still want to read our email.
They're still there.
Right. So you got to ruffle feathers, man.
You got to ruffle some feathers. You got to go way out your comfort zone and kind of be like your opposite self, like you have a Jekyll and Hyde, personality, like you'll be nice and everything. But then here comes that Hyde, out of yourself. And you just go, I'm just going to make you angry just for today to see if you really are going to get off my list or you're going to stay there. And most of the time, Colleen, they don't want to get off the list when you do that. They'll get angry and they'll reply, but they're like, no, I'm serious. I want to be here.
That is so true. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I agree with you 110% on that. That's why I love that email that you did. It was brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Because you got people's attention.
Yeah. What was the subject line? If you guys are on my list, you might have gotten the email and you probably haven't even read it yet. Maybe so. I don't know. Because not everybody lives by their email, right? But the ones that do, that are looking forward to my 11 o'clock in the morning emails. This one says, hey, Biden, get your hands out of my, and blank, just like that. And it's like, hey, Biden, get your hands out of my what? That creates curiosity. Okay. And when you see a subject line that what, get your hands out of my.
Sandy said she did. Sandy.
Sandy. Loved it, didn't you? It was brilliant. It was awesome. And you know what? I got so much feedback. Dude, I was like, oh, now they're alive. Here we go. We got some feathers ruffled. We got some people talking about. I don't even care, dude, if they talk negative or positive. I just want them to just talk and reply. Are you still alive on my list?
Well, we learned that what we learned about that was becoming more polarizing. right?
Polarizing.
Yeah, there's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with being polarizing. Who
Yes.
cares what anybody thinks? All right.
Yes.
It's your email list. You can do what the hell you want with it. All right. So yeah,
Yeah.
polarizing is a good thing.
So Colleen says, no, they're talking to those who do not open their emails. So they're giving them an opportunity. They're sending out a specific message to their non-openers, right? And you're saying, how is it that they can reach them if they're not opening? The non-openers is a actual classification tag. Let's say you're using Aweber. We're familiar with Aweber, so I'm going to just say Aweber.
Yeah.
If it's non-openers, that means they can still see the email. They just haven't clicked the title to open the email.
Yeah.
That's what it means. So they're still a non-opener, even though they can get the email in their inbox. They just haven't clicked on it. So you can have a whole bunch of send out broadcasts, or your autoresponders kicking in automatically, and those emails are still in their inbox, but they haven't clicked on the title, Colleen, to open it. So what they're doing is, if they're sending out emails to try to get them from a non-opener to an opener, they're going to have to ruffle some feathers. That's the only way they're going to be able to do it. It's not so much about unsubscribing. It's about putting compelling ad copy, putting some better copywriting in the subject line to grab their attention. Because think about it, babe. How many people, are on the same list as every other marketer? Lots. And what happens? It blends in with the crowd.
Yep.
And if your subject lines suck, they really are terrible, what did you think is going to happen? You're going to be blending in with everybody else's emails, and it's not interesting. It's not interesting. But when I say, hey, Biden, get your hands out of they're like, whoa, what's that? What does that mean? Get your attention.
And we talked about that too, when it comes to email subject lines. Like, a lot of people have the question also, and I remember in our inner circle, that's a membership that we do, guys, for $97 a month. We train on marketing and help marketers actually get results.
Yes.
So what's going on is, I remember people asking that question, like, well, how do you create, creative subject lines? One of the best ways to do it is have subject lines that create curiosity, right? Because what people like to do is, when they write an email in the subject line, they give the farm away in the subject line. That you do not want to do, because you give them a reason not to open up the email. But if you do a subject line that creates curiosity, they're going to wonder, like, what the hell's going on there? What do they mean by that? Right? So that's what we've always done. And we've always gotten so much attention, right, from the email list.
Yeah. And the content that I was creating, was really, it wasn't like offensive. It was just basically saying, I'm tired, and I was ranting. I was ranting about, take your hands out of my pocket. The inflation thing is not working for me, and I created this whole story around inflation, and it got attention.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ruffle feathers and talk about what's going on right now. There's war going on right now. Anybody wrote anything about that yet? Think about it.
You know what?
Express yourself.
One of my mentors talked to me about that a long time ago.
Yeah.
He said, Rich, what's great about marketing? We can use current events and create a business lesson around that current event. And you'll get a lot more attention, because it's what's happening in the now, right? Just gave you guys another tip.
Oh yeah, this is good. Richard Osborne says, what days is y'all's inner circle? So inner circle is a private membership community. Our members pay $97 a month. I'm not going to hold back. And they love it. They are part of it. We meet every Wednesday night at 8:00 in the evening, Eastern Standard Time. And we hold a 1-hour class. Okay. Sometimes it can be shorter because it depends on the topic. And then we also answer people's questions inside that Facebook group. But also, there is a membership website for the Inner Circle Mastermind Academy members. And they get to access not 1, not 2, but 4 years of content that we built from the scratch. Okay. They get to access all of that internet marketing training that we've been teaching all this time. And they get to learn about the ins and outs of affiliate marketing. So we show all that, and the secrets are come out right there inside the mastermind.
Yeah. And we are going to be teaching how to build pages. We're going to go over capture pages. We're going to go over bridge pages. Not your typical bridge page. We're going to be talking about different types of bridge pages that you can use in your email.
Yes.
Actually, to get more attention.
Yes. Richard Osborne says, well, what is the best offer? What will be the best offer? So Rich, you touched on possibly that Richard Osborne is in the wrong thing. He's in the wrong gig. So what would you recommend as the best offer?
The best offer, well, I'll give you the reasons how I choose an offer. Number one, I look at the product, okay? Is the product designed to serve people in a very genuine way? All right. Is it going to solve the problem in the marketplace, right? I have to look for that. I have to make sure. Then I start looking at the offer a little bit deeper as far as the pages, the funnels, the copywriting, and things like that. If I see that the copywriting and the funnels matches the market, then I know that offer is going to convert very well. All right. But again, when it comes to having any offer, the sales pages are very important. But what I like to tell people is also create your own capture page, create your own bridge pages. So that way you stick out in the marketplace more than just using the same thing that everybody else is using, right? Because when you create your own capture page or your own bridge page, what's waiting on the other side is that sales page. So that sales page has to convert. I mean, there's many great offers out there, and I've been to quite a few of them. One of the ones that we use right now that we really, really like is HBA, only because the training is really, really good. I know they just added some other new training, and I was shocked how good it was for just the price point, right? And it's helping solve a lot of problems for people that are trying to figure out how to do certain things online. And like I said, that's one of the main things I look for. Like, if they're putting out products, is it solving a problem? Is it really teaching people on how to be an effective marketer? Or is it just theory and crap that you see most stuff out there? So when you look at something that's going to convert, that's also important, because if someone is going to join something, what about the retention, right? I also look at retention. So let's say if I'm part of a process, part of an offer for a while, and I look at the retention, I study the retention, I monitor the retention, I track the retention, I know that that's a really good offer. So, and retention, if you guys don't know, it just means if someone stays in the program for a very, very long time. And so far, everyone we signed up, it's still there for a few years. So it's like, what does that tell you? That means the retention is really good, the education is really good, the community is really good, and things like that. So it's definitely a plus in my book, the offer I just mentioned. So
Yep. And Richard is asking questions about it, like, is it HBA? It is. And you know what? We're going to give you our affiliate link so that you can go right to it. That way you don't get lost and, end up in some other sponsors list.
And
okay, you want to work with us, you can be on our team.
And in the inner circle, we're going to be going over that funnel builder a little bit more in detail. And we're going to be doing some capture pages. We're going to do some bridge pages. We're going to get a little creative.
We are.
And we're going to have fun too. We're going to have fun. That's what it's all about, guys. Marketing for us, we like to have fun. We don't like to, become this crazy, big 10-ton weight over your shoulders. We make it light as a feather. We have fun.
Yes.
You guys could just follow along step by step, which is a lot of fun.
So. Sharon Curtis. Hello, Sharon, darling. She says, Sharon, great advice, Ace. Great advice. Thank you so much.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. Good to see you on the hot seat.
Pleasure.
Ray says, Ace and Rich, PLS is at 9. Are you guys going to run over or not? Thanks. You guys are awesome. No, we're not. Once we wrap up hot seat, we're going to have family time today. It's Friday.
Friday. Yep. I'm going to have Corona. Sit back, maybe watch
beers,
the tube.
Chill out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Let's see. Yeah, I love it. Okay, question is from Raymond. I've been struggling a bit here. I've been copying and pasting other people's emails, and it seems I'm not getting any sales. Any chance you could share some training or tips to help me figure this thing out? Okay. Raymond, first of all, never, ever, ever copy and paste another marketer's email. And I'm going to tell you why. This goes with everybody who has done this. Okay. When you copy and paste someone else's email word for word, there are a lot of risks imposed with this. Number one, it's plagiarism. Okay. You didn't come up with that content. And the last thing you want to do is be a copycat. And if you want to copy somebody, copy the right cat. All right. And make sure that you edit the content into your own personal, character, who you are, your own words, your writer's tone. You want to be able to edit it just as much as you can to sound like you. Okay. The other thing is, there's a reason why you're not making sales, because you're making sales for the other guy. You just basically copied and pasted their affiliate link into your autoresponder. What are you doing? You cannot do that. That's a big mistake. Oh my
So,
God.
and here's the thing too, like knowing that let's say you knew that the link you can change because you're aware of it, you still don't copy someone's email, because here's the problem. All right. When you copy someone's email, you're bringing someone else's personality into your list, and that's not who you are. Right. There'll be a real big disconnect, and you'll have you'll have a really hard time actually converting that lead into a sale, because that's not your personality. Right. And it's fake, and people know. People know, trust me, they know if it's real or not.
Yes. So number one, never ever copy, okay, verbatim other people's content. Even if you get swipe files, guys, if you get swipe files and bonuses and things like that, and leaders are giving this to you.
Yeah.
They're giving this to you not for you to copy verbatim. They're giving it to you to learn from, to study. You know, every email is written in a certain formula. Did you guys know that? It's written in a specific format. You got everything in front of you. You just don't, because you're so new, you don't know what to look out for. And when you study the content, look at the topic, look at how they're putting the call to action. Where is it located within the email? Is it at the top? Is it at the bottom? Is it in the middle? Look at that format. Okay. Try to model after it. Modeling doesn't mean copying, right, babe?
Yeah. Like what you can do is you could have like one, like let's say if it's Mac, text edit, if it's Windows, Notepad, you can put like one notepad here, another notepad side by side, and you could break down the paragraphs and then rewrite each paragraph in your own words, right? It's easy when you see it in front of you, and then over here on the right is blank, and then you could just rewrite, one paragraph at a time. Before you know it, you got something that's similar to what that was, but it's not plagiarizing. You grab the idea and the concept and you put it into your own words. Now you have your own words, your own personality, and now you just learn a little bit about copywriting.
Absolutely. Richard Osmer says, like the offer I got up next is helping people save money. Is that a good offer, helping people save money?
Well, people would think that it would be a good offer in today's world because of inflation and stuff like that. But people are really looking more for a community that they could dive into. And this is what we've learned over the years by, what we converted and what we didn't convert. Okay. And what we notice is that when you have a good community where people come together as a group to really help people grow in their business, I really truly believe that that's one of the best offers that you can get. Like right now, we have training that marketers come out and they share their wisdom, their knowledge. They also have classes on the funnel. They, they have like a templates club now too, where they give you their pages where you can work on and get ideas from. It's just amazing when you have part of a community. I might as well call it mastermind, because when these marketers come out, we're all masterminding.
Right.
And they're sharing what they do. And if you want to learn marketing, that's the best way to learn marketing, right? Different strategies, because so many different strategies out there. So you can learn, and keep in mind, you might see one strategy and go, I can resonate with that, right? But you'll never know until you become a part of a community, a mastermind that can really help you understand that, right? Because a lot of these offers that you think are good, what happens is it's not helping or serving the individual. Because if you say, hey, I got something to help you save money, okay, that's good and everything. What next? Right? And they'll say, okay, thank you, I just saved some money, right? And they'll be like, hey, how do you do this? Right? Now they need to learn marketing. So they're still stuck back to square one, right? Like you're stuck back to square one. How do I learn marketing? How do I understand this stuff? This is driving me crazy already. Freaking going nuts. I'm starting to get pissed off. It's because you keep avoiding the pain. You keep avoiding what you should be learning, which is marketing, right? Become part of a community, literally, that's going to teach you marketing. So no matter what you sell, you have a funnel that you can create anything around it, then you can sell whatever you want. But you have to start from square one. You have to know how to sell building these pages. You are online, aren't you? or learn the ropes of being online.
This is hot. It's on fire. What we got? Oh, we got 3 more minutes. Okay. Last question. Hey, it's Daniel here. I've heard about lead generation funnels, but where do I even start to create one that actually works? Any tips that you can share or resources? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Daniel.
There are 2 different types of funnels that you can create. You can create a very simple, basic funnel, just a few words, because less is more when it comes to cold traffic. Okay. Now, on the other hand, if you're running certain kinds of ads, sometimes native ads, let's talk about native ads for a second. Native ads require more writing, right? More story-based writing in the ad. So that means like when somebody comes to the ad, the page opens up, it looks like a news article. There's a lot more work that goes into that. That's more of a landing page, but it has a lot more words, a lot more pictures, a lot more stories, all those kind of things, right? So there's many different types of funnels, but it depends on what type of traffic you're focusing on, what type of ads are you running. But I'm going to assume, since you're here and it's affiliate marketing, okay, that you're probably running cold traffic. And a great idea to understand is like, I'll show you one of my pages I use for YouTube. And this is not really that cold, but I like using less because I believe less is more. Let me go to my channel. Here.
So Daniel, hang tight because Rich is going to do a screen share and we're going to answer your last question for the evening.
So let's say that, let's get one of our videos. And then we're going to go to, let's see. So if I go like design your 9 to 5, and I go over to my capture page, notice this capture page does not have much. And keep in mind, when I run cold traffic, as far as ads, I won't have this bar here, right? It'll be a little bit even less, right? Because less is more. The only reason why I put our picture here is because it's video and I want it to be congruent when they see our faces on video and they go to the capture page, right? There's a picture, so it becomes more personal, right? Very, very important. And if somebody opts in, they're going to see our bridge page, which shows our picture, a little bit of our story, that so on and so forth. And then it goes to the sales page afterwards. But here's the thing. These type of capture pages is less is more. Remember that. Less is more. You know who talked about that? One of the copywriters was Dan Kennedy. And I remember he said that less is more. The more that you try to add too much, the more you start to lose the message and loses the focus on the objective at hand. The objective is to get the name and email. That's the objective, period. That's the focus. That's what this capture page is for. I don't care about anything else. I want the name and email. Okay, I'm not going to add all this other stuff so they get lost in it and they're not focusing on putting their name and email. You understand now? That's really the objective, right? So when it comes to, let's say, running a cold traffic, like solo ads, right? Let me go to my funnel builder. Okay. Let's go to a cold page. Got a lot of pages here, guys. You see, I've been very, very busy. Cold traffic. What's this one? Let's take a look at this. There you go. Cold traffic. That's it. Solo ad. Boom. Right? That's all. That's what that is. I mean, I design a lot of different pages. You know what I mean? Because I do a lot of work here. But like I said, less is more. If you start adding a lot more pages that have too many designs and pictures and stuff like that, that might work for certain type of ads. But when you start running ads, like let's say for the cold traffic for affiliate marketing, you don't want to put too much stuff because you're not going to get more leads. The goal is to get more leads. The more leads you get, the less cost the lead's going to be. If you get less leads, the more you're going to cost per lead is going to go up, and you don't want that. Okay. So the best tip I can give you is less is more when it comes to creating capture pages. Right.
Awesome. All right, guys, that's it. That's our time. Thank you so much for joining us here on the hot seat. And we will be back next Friday. These are great questions you guys are going to be learning from as more and more people join us on the hot seat. Definitely share the hot seat with as many friends and, your community, your Facebook groups, your tribe, your team members. Get them in on the mix. This is like, a way for you to learn on the fast train, right? When it
Yep.
comes to like different people with different challenges and experiences. So this is what makes it hot, right, Colleen?
Get on the
Makes it really
fast
hot.
track of success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So join us at the same time right here on our profile, or join our Internet Marketing Pros Facebook group. Answer the 3 questions so that we can go ahead and approve you. It's a great community there. And if you want to be part of the inner circle, our links are provided below this video. And with the questions that we answered, people were asking for those resources. They're there. And other than that, my name is Ace Guzman.
And my name is Rich Guzman. Looking forward to seeing you on the Inner Circle. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Take care now.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.